shot by Buddha. Facebook gaming in the building.
Into the end zone! Five Nations, stand up!
Let's get into it. We're going to do this one different. Here came a division where I felt like every team in the division made good moves. I couldn't put one team over the other. I really was stumped. It's like stump the shop. So what we're going to do is go through it, and then we're going to make a decision at the end based on how much sense this make. If y'all want to go ahead and make predictions in the AFC North Division, which had a major shakeups, Mike Tomlin steps down, first time in 20 years, never had a losing season. Pittsburgh Steelers haven't won a playoff game in 11 years. Mike McCarthy steps in as the head coach, but you don't know the status of Aaron Rodgers, so we have to factor that in. Cleveland Browns had 8 quarterbacks under roster last year, under payroll. Stefanski's gone. Bringing a new coach that wants to work with Shador, but here comes Deshaun Watson. They don't know who's going to be the starter. There's going to be a quarterback competition. Had to factor that in. The Bengals, of all coaches that should have been on the hot seat, that wasn't on the hot seat, Bengals coach will definitely be on the hot seat this season. I think he bought himself some time with the Super Bowl run they had, but Bengals have also missed the playoff 3 straight years. I can't see them going 4 straight years with the firepower that they have and the star power, regardless of the injuries. I just don't know how he retains his job. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, who got rid of the second longest tenure coach in John Harbaugh after missing a field goal, which would have gave the Tennessee Titans an extra 4th round pick for Draymond Jones. Gets rid of John Harbaugh. He's gone to the Giants. And then now there's a new head honcho in Baltimore, along with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And then you have the big news this offseason about the trade that wasn't between Max Crosby, the physical, sending him back to the Raiders, getting their 2 first-round picks, and picking up Trey Hendrickson for cheaper than what Max Crosby would have been. But there is a new coach in Pittsburgh. There's a new coach in Baltimore. There's a new coach in Cleveland. And if the Cincinnati Bengals do not make the playoffs and make some significant noise with all the attempts of moves that they made this offseason, I think there will be a new coach in Cincinnati. All right, so a complete division shakedown when it comes to the AFC North. This has been by far the hardest division for me to sit back and think about what team made the best moves. So let's just go through them. This is not in no rank particular order. We're going to go team to team. And we're going to start with, I say we start with the Cincinnati Bengals, because they're the only team that retained their coach, and they didn't have a first round pick. All right. So let's pull the Cincinnati Bengals up. All right, the Fighting Zach Taylors with Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco at QB. I don't think you can get much better than that. If you had to go to a veteran, the way Joe Flacco came in and played off the Browns with no time, Joe Flacco was lighting it up. Joe Burrow, can he be healthy? When healthy, there's no argument about the talent of Joe Burrow. One of the greatest college football seasons we ever seen. Injured his first year, second year in the Super Bowl. And every year since then, Joe Burrow has been a quarterback that if he's healthy, he could lead the league in every statistical category. But just can Joe stay healthy? Chase Brown. They got the veteran Samaje P. Ryan. I would like for them to have a different running back than Samaje P. Ryan. Always a good complimentary back, but I mean, if something happened and Chase Brown is not in for a few games, Samaje P. Ryan, Taj Brooks, and Gary Brightwell, I'd like to see them throw a little something else there to take some of the pressure off of Joe. Obviously, Jamar Chase is second to nobody in the NFL. One of the receivers that can truly lead the league in every category. He can do it all, along with his counterpart T. Higgins, who they were able to work out a deal last year. But I feel like this is like the Dallas Cowboys of the North. You have a high-paid quarterback. You got a high-paid receivers. Both of the, like, T. Higgins could be a number one on a lot of teams in the NFL, and I mean a lot. Andre Lasovius, I think he's a really crafty guy. The Bengals always have that Hushmanzada and these type of guys that like can just dunk and get open, and you know, the Bengals always have a good third. Obviously, when you have superstars like that, you don't have a lot of depth behind them. Where they do have depth in the passing game is tight end. Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, and Eric, all three really good tight ends. Connor Lew, center from Auburn. Can they gel this line and add a little more depth? You got to protect the asset, which is Joe Burrow, if you're not going to be a team that leans heavy on your run game. I think they were super dynamic when they had Joe Mixon. I thought Joe Mixon gave them a different edge. Chase Brown is a really nice back, but Joe Mixon just gave them a physicality to that offense when he was there a few years ago. All right, now let's see where they spent their money. Now, let's look the controversial trading first round pick. We all know that the Cleveland Browns offered a second for Dexter Lawrence and would not budge off of either one of the two first round picks they had. And the Bengals sent a top 10 pick for Dexter Lawrence, who's one of the truly good interior tackles in the NFL. And they went and got Boy Mafe off of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks by Shamar Stewart, their first round draft pick from last year, and flanked behind Miles Murphy, flanked behind Cassius Howell, their draft pick from this year, who was their first pick because they didn't have a first rounder. Jonathan Allen, Roll Tide, nothing much else to be said there. If you did want to look at where they've been tough at over the years at linebacker, the defense has really how can I say this? The defense has really been thin the last few years since they spent a lot of money on offense, going with a lot of younger players, a lot of veterans transitioning out. Wilson last year at linebacker to the Cowboys. You got Dax Hill, Jordan Battle, Brian Cook, DJ Turner, Jalen Davis, Kyle Duggar, the veteran, coming over, and I really like Takario Davis. So this is the thing about the Bengals. The Bengals are all in to win right now. They've definitely made the moves to do it. Will they have the depth in the looking at their overall roster to make that type of run? Who knows? It's yet to be seen. They got to be thinking they're going to be healthy and better than 6-11 in the AFC North. But let's check out their draft picks. Cassius Howell. They didn't have a first round pick. Takario Davis, cornerback out of Washington, a lengthy corner, going center with Connor Lew from Auburn, a center that a lot of people like. Kobe Young, who's a kind of an unheralded guy from Georgia, a really big receiver. And then Brian Parker, center from Duke. It's obvious that they wanted to try to find one of these centers to gravitate into the starting role in the future. And then Jack Indries, a Texas tight end. to go in a room that they love to load up. And then last going D tackle, Landon Robinson from Navy. Decent draft. Not having a first round pick. I feel like overall the Bengals added to their roster. My question is always going to be when you go after a $80 million D tackle and you bring in edges. Obviously, Trey Henderson is gone, so you want to fill that production. I think Cassius Howell, Shamar Stewart, Boy Mafe, Miles Murphy is pretty solid, but just do they have the overall depth? Like, they frontline players look amazing, but do they have the depth? 18-week, 17-game season. We're going to find out if Zach Taylor is going to retain his job and get them back to prominence, or they're going to blow that roster up if we get halfway through the season and the Cincinnati Bengals ain't clicking. All right, let me catch up on some of y'all comments before we get into the next team like we've been doing. We still haven't made our decisions on who. We got to kind of go through this one. This one has kind of been tough. There's been a lot of turnover in that division. Oh, yeah. He's out of there. Zach Taylor's out of there. And Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase might ask to leave. All right. Cleveland Browns. My problem with the Cleveland Browns is not their draft. They had an amazing draft. I think they've had a really good draft the last 2 years. Their depth chart, I think they did a really good job bringing in free agents and retaining some players. It's not the problem. The problem is the culture in Cleveland. The problem is the front office and the direction they want to go. Any team that had 8 different quarterbacks on the payroll last year, and if I told you the Browns was going to have the key to the draft, I told y'all the Browns would have the key to the draft last year. Browns had the key to the draft. They traded back out of Travis Hunter's spot in 2, back to 5. Got the Jaguars' first round pick this year, which was 24, and their own, which was 6, and retained Myles Garrett to be the cornerstone of their team. And if I told you last year that they would get Shador, Mason Graham, Quinshawn Judkins, Schlesinger, Harold Fannin, Dylan Sampson, they nailed every draft pick last year, and they came into this year with 2 draft picks and they nailed it again. That's not the problem. The problem is the direction of the team. One could be frustrated that all the problems they had trying to figure this quarterback situation out, and how Stefanski handled it last year, how their media handled it last year, how the front office handled it last year was god awful. It was a disaster. In some kind of way, I'm sitting here watching and I see this. I see Deshaun Watson labeled as quarterback 1 for the Cleveland Browns. Now, before we go any further, you get rid of Stefanski because he won't make a decision. People in the front office don't know who wanted to draft him, who didn't want to draft him. There's Dylan Gabriel. You don't want to trade Dylan Gabriel, but he's 3rd string on the depth chart. And you drafted Taylor Green in the draft. What on earth are the Cleveland Browns doing? What on earth are they doing? What direction are they sending to the team? This was their chance to take Deshaun Watson, close the chapter on that, and say, we got a new coach who obviously is coming in, who don't mind dealing with Shador Sanders and the circus that comes with him. He's a really promising young player. What can we put around him? Now, I watched the Tennessee Titans go out and get weapons for Cam Ward. I watched the New York Giants go out and get one of the better, longest tenure coaches in the league and a whole bunch of assets around Jackson Dart. I watched the Saints go out and get every offensive weapon known to man for Tyler Shook year 2. And here I am watching them make good moves, but not making a decision at QB. So why am I looking at Deshaun Watson as QB1 when you got Shador here, a new coach that wanted to come in to coach him, you don't want to move Dylan Gabriel, but then you draft Taylor Green. What are we doing, Cleveland? Now, let's get into their draft first before we get into their roster. Spencer Fano, obviously one of the better tackles in this year's draft. They had 2 first-round picks, so they trade back with the Chiefs, add draft capital, and then they're able to get Casey Concepcion with the 2nd pick. One of the more wiry, put the ball in his hand, good things happen, receivers in the draft. On top of Denzel Boston in the 2nd, who a lot of people thought was going to go first. So you add in 2 of the best, like when you said the top 6 receivers coming into the draft, there were Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston. What's my boy that went to the Eagles? Like, I can't think of USC. I can't think of my man. I'm having brain fog. But there was a special 6, and these 6 wide receivers were the receivers that everybody said. Here, Mekhi Lemon. Who? These are the guys that people said that we're going to draft in the first round. These are going to be the first 6. These are sensational 6. They got 2 of them. Then turn around, get Emmanuel McNeil Warren, a big, like when you think of the Hamiltons, the Malachi Starks, when you think of Nick Emmenward, you think of like a guy like McNeil Warren from Toledo. Tall, rangy, cover a lot of ground, box safety that can play like a corner but still physical up front. Then they go get Austin Barber. If y'all remember my draft board, Austin Barber, I said he was going to go around 100, the top 100. From Florida, one of the better tackles in the draft. I thought he was really solid and underrated. Parker Brailsford, an athletic center from Alabama. Justin Jefferson, linebacker from Alabama. Now I'm surprised that he went and Deontay Lawson went undrafted. I thought Deontay Lawson was better than Jefferson, but Jefferson kind of probably has a little bit more of that thumper in him that some NFL teams like. And another player that I liked on my draft board was Joe Royer, tight end out of Cincinnati. Guy's really athletic, 6'5", 245, like can run. Then they got Taylor Green from Arkansas, a very, like one of the most athletic quarterbacks we've seen come through the combine. Maybe not on tape, but in the combine. And then they took another tight end, Carson Ryan out of BYU, obviously trying to fill in the roles where you lose David Njoku, but you do have Harold Fanning. All right. So incredible 2 drafts back to back, right? When I go over here and see Deshaun Watson at QB1 again, I said, And then you got Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, Jerry Jeudy, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Isaiah Bond, who you got last year for negative nothing because of his off the field issues that are passed by, along with Cedric Tillman. You got a nice little group of receivers, all young. You get Harold Fanning Jr., who's a real weapon. I really like Joe Royer. I think he's going to push his way into tight end too. Michael Burton, veteran fullback, utility player. So now you have Fano, Zion Johnson, Elton Jenkins from the Packers, a really, really veteran interior lineman, Tevin Jenkins, and then they picked up Titus Howard. Because Jack Conklin kind of aging out. So you lose Wyatt Teller, but then you bring in Elton Jenkins, and then you get Fano in the draft. Titus Howard, got 2 bookend tackles. They made some of the right decisions that you would make, that you want to grow a team. I just can't figure how they just can't make the decision and just say Shedeur Sanders is quarterback 1. It doesn't make sense. You took all this time of Deshaun Watson tanking your franchise, and you're going to put him back in. I don't understand. Alex Wright, opposite of Myles Garrett. You got Mason Graham in the draft last year, top 5 pick. You got Owusu, Swessinger, who was that pick in the second round last year. Quincy Williams, you brought in. Quentin Williams' brother. Justin Jefferson, they drafted. Denzel Ward, Delpit, Hickman, Tyson Campbell, Miles Harden, McNeil Warren, who I think is going to be a really good player. I think they need more depth in the secondary. When I look over and see Trey Avery on the roster, I know that this secondary needs more depth. Ooh. So I will say the Cleveland Browns, even though having another great draft and putting more talented players and a better looking roster together, now that we're looking at this, I'm going to be honest and put the Cleveland Browns last. We're going to restructure this thing in real time. I told you I'm having a hard time figuring out the AFC North. We're going to do it in real time. I think their front office and the direction is going to hold them back. It's going to hold them back. All right, let's get into the third team. Man, Joe Flacco, Trey Avery. Let me catch up on the chat real quick before we get going. 10 QBs. Who's QB1 at this point? Browns draft was super legit. He needs to be gone. The problem is they have so much talent that they're just gonna throw away if they don't just choose a direction and go. Cleveland fleeced the Jags in that trade. Jersey Dad, what up? But it ain't money on his contract no more. They restructured all that money. When you finally get from up under the thumb or something like this, why would you ruin the good years you got with Shador? Leave Deshaun Watson on the bench. Move Dylan Gabriel if you're going to have Taylor Green, and just say if something happened to Shador, we're going to play Deshaun Watson, and it's going to be by default. Shador is your future. He's going to sell tickets. He's who the young players believe in. If you continue to just sabotage this situation, we're gonna see one of those Baker Mayfields. Shador Sanders is gonna go to another team and go to the mountaintop. This is just silly at this point. All right, now we're gonna get into the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had an incredible offseason. Max Ahinicher at offensive tackle. Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. You get Drew Aller in the third to go along with Will Howard for the quarterback competition. Dalen Everett, who been on my board, ball hawking corner for Georgia Bulldogs. Jennings Dunker. It got him at offensive tackle. I think he's going to kick inside the card. Really good offensive lineman. You got Caden Wedgen. Some people probably don't know who this kid is, but if you remember how Cooper DeJean was, this kid is a special team star in the making. Dude returned like 3 or 4 punts last year. Super fast. He's going to be a special team superstar. And I told y'all, if you're going to be a late round player, you got to be somebody that's got built-in special teams capacity. This kid is instantly going to be their return man. Okay, then you get a tight end from Indiana, a D tackle from Notre Dame, safety from Oklahoma, and a running back from Navy who love to tote the pill. Really super solid draft. But let me tell you why their draft gets even better. Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle is a dog. Put him with Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. You have 3 really solid running backs. DK Metcalf needs to give them more, but guess what? They went and got the best receiver off the coast, Michael Pittman Jr. For people who don't know who this guy is, he gets open, he catch the football. It's that simple. Jeremy Bernard is in the slot. DK Metcalf, Pittman, and Jeremy Bernard. Then you got the kid Wedgen who could come in and go in motion with Roman Wilson. Got your 2 speed guys that can come in, and A.T. Perry will be probably the bonus outside receiver for them in rotation. Freiermuth, Darnell Washington. You lose Jonnu Smith, who's a real weapon, but you increase your wide receivers, so I could see them being in 3 receiver sets more in this season. Then Broderick Jones and Fautanu on the outside. But you got Ahinicher and Jennings Dunker. So you just drafted 2 guys that are for sure going to wind up rotating into your offensive line. Pittsburgh Steelers are always pretty good up front. But let me tell you, the real problem with them making incredible moves on the offense, like adding Michael Pittman Jr., adding Jeremy Bernard, real problem is obviously Aaron Rodgers. Mike McCarthy is taking over. You got a more offensive-minded head coach that knows how to get the better out of quarterbacks. Problem is, Will Howard didn't get the reps last year. You gave him to Mason Rudolph, and now you got Drew Aller. So what do? If Aaron Rodgers comes, this will be 2 years. Will Howard is not getting reps. Drew Aller, super promising QB, injured last year. Was Penn State's offense holding him back? Was he holding them back? Who knows? Got the type of coach that can get the most out of him. But if Aaron Rodgers comes back and blows this up, it could be just another year that the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't moved forward to ever grooming and putting a young quarterback in since Big Ben. And that's been a long time, bro. That's been a long time. All right. Now, we can get into Pittsburgh's defense, which made me really excited. They added Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean's one of the best corners in the league, come from Tampa Bay. One of the reasons why I wasn't that high on Tampa Bay's offseason. Obviously, still got Jalen Ramsey playing the nickel and safety. You got Dalen Everett and Darnell Savage. Got and Asante Samuel Jr. if he can get back healthy. You got depth at corner and got Joey Porter Jr., Brisker, and Elliott. Really good secondary. TJ Watt back healthy. Harmon, Big Cam Hayward in the middle. Yaya Black, Jack Sawyer, Sebastian Joseph Day, Tennessee Titan legend. Solid up front. Pittsburgh Steelers never have a problem on defense. Patrick Queen, Highsmith, Herbig, Peyton Wilson. You got some guys in there. And just when you look at Pittsburgh, they put everything else together. My problem with Pittsburgh is Aaron Rodgers. So as much moves as they made, if Mike McCarthy's had some time off from football and they can't definitively make Aaron Rodgers make a decision, a healthy Aaron Rodgers with this upgraded team, if they're healthy come postseason, could make noise. If Aaron Rodgers do what he normally do and just show up when it's time, it's gonna be year 12 without a postseason win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yet again, who knows what these Pittsburgh Steelers are gonna do? It's now all contingent on Aaron Rodgers, and they've had a great offseason. Think Rodgers needs to go? I think they need to make a decision with Rodgers. That is the problem. Even if you have the longest tenured coach in the NFL and Mike Tomlin, who everybody respects, and Aaron Rodgers does his Aaron Rodgers thing, right? He's bigger than the program. Then he steps down. And maybe he steps down because he knows he's going to be in the same position again, right? Like, they missed a field goal. I mean, the Ravens miss a field goal and the Steelers get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mike Tomlin steps down, another winning season, no playoff wins. And then you bring in Mike McCarthy, and it's his boy, and he still can't get him to definitively make a move. They put the tender out, the first right of refusal, which means that Aaron Rodgers, if he plays next year, it's going to be around $15 million unless they go back and renegotiate it again. It's just like, if you have to put out paperwork to make this guy make a decision, he's going to be 43 years old. Just call the shot and say it's going to be Drew Aller or Will Howard starting. If the Pittsburgh Steelers roll out with Mason Rudolph, I'm going to instantly take everything I just said good about them and put them beyond dead last. I know the Cleveland Browns have a quarterback situation, but to be fair, Pittsburgh's quarterback situation and it is ruining their offseason. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to put the Pittsburgh Steelers in their offseason down here below the Cleveland Browns until Aaron Rodgers makes a decision. So This is how we doing this. And now we're going to get into the last team. The last team in the AFC North is the Baltimore Ravens, who had another good draft. So before we get into their roster and the things that they've done, let's talk about it. One of the craziest moves we've seen in recent history in football. Max Crosby, blockbuster trade to the Raiders. Physical doesn't go through. Baltimore packs him up. Amazon return box, sends him back, gets their 2 first-round draft picks back. Raiders were going to have 1 in 14. Ravens get the 2 first-round picks back and then go pick up Trey Hendrickson. All in the thief of the night. And is it morally right? No. But it's business. Who cares, right? All fair and love and war. You in the same conference as this team. To hell with them, right? So now, the offseason moves that the Ravens have made in the draft was the best interior lineman in the draft. Obviously, was Vega, a player that was really high on my board. Zion Young, Jacoby Lane. You know, if we're going back, this was one of my mocks. Was Titans' first pick and then Zion Young and Jacoby Lane. It honestly was. A big body receiver from USC. Give me that Drake London feel. Crafty, Zion Young, 6'5", 6'6", crazy motor, off the edge, good team guy. Elijah Surratt, another dunker on the outside. What is this? Lamar Jackson's got young receivers that can win at the catch point on the outside. We've never seen this before. Ravens are always going to draft a tight end. Matt Hibner from SMU. Cornerback Chandler Rivers, nice pickup late. Josh Cuevas, a receiving tight end out of Bama. Fits the MO for the Ravens to lose Isaiah Likely and draft 2 tight ends. Got Adam Randall from Clemson, who always puts out pretty solid running backs. A punter, Ryan Eckley, which the Ravens, with Harbaugh, who's a special teams guy, always was one of the teams that didn't mind drafting special teamers, and they continue to trend, and they draft Ryan Eckley, punter out of Michigan State. D-tackle, Rashawn Benny from Michigan, and the offensive guard, Evan Bernstein out of Northwestern. All right, so let's look at their roster. Really super solid draft. Lamar Jackson, they got Snoop Huntley back, and Diego Pavia is going to sell a few jerseys for the Ravens. Smart business move. You got Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Rasheen Ali, and Adam Randall, the rookie. Got Zay Flowers. I think that Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt should be outside, and I think they should take Zay Flowers and make him like a Wandale, like a slot guy. Take some pressure off of him. Zay Flowers is a dog, but I don't think he should be your one. I think they should try to feature some of the young guys. They've been in multiple tight end sets for a while. Mark Andrews, one of the best in the league. LaJohntay Wester from last year. Like that kid. And you got Ronnie Stanley with Vega. You lose Linderbaum. Surprised that they didn't go center in the draft. But you got Bullock, John Simpson, and Rosengarten on the outside. So it's going to be interesting how Corey Bullock plays in place of Linderbaum, who reset the market on centers in the NFL. Got Matabuki back healthy this year with Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell, this guy's like got the fountain of youth. He'll never stop playing football. Got Jenkins, Robinson, Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson, Mike Green from last year with Trey Hendrickson. I like the young guys, Mike Green and Zion Young, to get in rotation with Trey Henderson. They lost Draymond Jones and Adafio Way last year within the mix, trading both of those, or trading Adafio Way to the Chargers and then him getting picked up by the Commanders, and then they traded for Draymond Jones, who's now on the Patriots. So they kind of restarted over with their edges, but Mike Green and Zion Young should give them something to be excited about. Obviously, Ravens secondary is one of the best in the league. Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Marlon Humphrey, Chidobe Awuzie, and then they drafted Chandler Rivers. I think they got to start mixing in some young guys in there too. At corner. But it's going to be interesting to see. Like, Ravens have had, just like the Steelers have had John Harbaugh for so long. Obviously, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is going to be the engine in that offensive line. But can these two young guys grow their role? Jacoby Lane and Surratt. New coach in Baltimore. Who knows who's going to win this division? If I had to put something on it right now, I'm gonna be honest. As much as I gave them hell about the trade, the rest of the division just don't have the vision to get to where they're trying to go. I'm gonna say the Cincinnati Bengals, by not panicking and get rid of Stefanski, Harbaugh, and Tomlin. I'm gonna say by keeping their coach, Zach figures it out this year. I think the stability there and just getting their team healthy. I really like some of the complementary pieces they got in the draft to go along with their big offseason push. So we're gonna say it. Cincinnati Bengals had the best offseason. Sometimes just by standing still. Because who knows the new direction of the Ravens are going to go, right? I think the Ravens finessed the Raiders and had a really great draft. But it's a new coaching staff. And what are they going to get out of Lamar? So my two dogs at the top, I'm going to say the Ravens and the Bengals give me the most hope in this division. Pittsburgh Steelers could jettison their way up to that top in that three-man rotation if Aaron Rodgers makes a decision. But the fact that they're letting a legendary organization like that is letting him hold them by the balls, I just got to dock them for that. And the Cleveland Browns, if the Cleveland Browns get Shedeur Sanders and put things around him like Jerry Jeudy, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Isaiah Braun, Harold Fanning, Joe Royer, and then Quinshawn Judkins, Dylan Sampkins, and then they just turn around and want to give it to Deshaun Watson. This is a disaster waiting to happen. All right, let me get caught up on Lay Chat. Zay, what's good? Stat man. Oh, what an offseason for the AFC North. I've never seen a division where I don't even know who. Like the team I wanted to say was going to have a bad offseason but for trading a top 10 pick. Then the rest of the division, Browns had an incredible draft and then ruined it by saying Deshaun Watson's QB1. Steelers had a great offseason and a good draft and then turn around and let Aaron Rodgers hold them hostage. Ravens had a really good draft offseason because they finessed the Raiders. But it's a new coaching staff and we're going to see. Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens got rid of the longest tenure coaches in the NFL, and we're going to see which one of these teams with some fresh blood is going to work for. All right, y'all got any questions for your boy? It doesn't matter the division. You can shoot now. NFC North was fun because, like, the more and more I looked at the teams, the more and more I don't know who had the best offseason. I'm usually pretty definitive, but the changes in the front office, the changes in the coaching, the changes in the philosophy, they all added good talent. I think this is going to be like the NFC South where these teams are going to beat each other up and play around 500 with each other, and it's going to come down to a tiebreaker for the winner. But if I had to pick right now, I had to put my hat in the ring for the Bengals because Zach Taylor's been there. He's done that. And if Joe Burrow and the boys is healthy, I think they can figure it out. I truly do. I think they can figure it out. Are the Ravens going to Raven? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the postseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers going to figure it out at QB. ever since Big Ben, they haven't. A decade with no playoff wins, and then the Browns is just the Browns. They do Browns things. Like smash the draft 2 years in a row and then turn around and name Deshaun Watson QB1. What I think the Cowboys are going to do, I think the Cowboys had a really good offseason, back-to-back years. Offense definitely hasn't been the problem for the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys have all the talent in the world. But is the show of Dallas going to get in the way, right? Quentin Williams, Deron Bland, DeMarvion Overshown, bring in Malachi Lawrence and Ezra Raku, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, D. Winters in a trade from the 49ers that was unexpected. I mean, Dallas Cowboys just got Caleb Downs. Like, Cowboys is loaded. You know, they spend a lot of attention on their defense. But seeing is believing with the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Commanders are in trouble. I think the Giants have added some good talent. I don't trust their coaching staff. I know Harbaugh is Harbaugh, but he's a special teams guy. You got Matt Nagy and Brian Callahan on offense and Denard Wilson on defense. You basically got a Tennessee Titan reject blend coaching. So we're going to see. I think Dallas and Philadelphia fight it out for the East. I think it'll be a real competitive division, though. Any more questions y'all got in the chat? We open for it. It's Sunday night. It's the end of the week. It's been a long week. A grueling week. Never could have. We made it through, though. And tomorrow when we come back, we're going to do NFC North. Interesting division. Bears won the division last year. Worst to first. Green Bay Packers. Minnesota Vikings. Detroit Lions. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting division. And what's crazy is a team that I like in that division, the Green Bay Packers, I almost root against them because of Micah Parsons. I just think that he just says things. DeMarcus Lawrence told him he runs his mouth too much. The Cowboys will never win. DeMarcus Lawrence left, won a Super Bowl. Cowboys got 2 first-round picks. Micah Parsons goes to the Packers and gets injured. And he's still yapping. I think he needs to shut up a little bit and play more football. I know that sounds crazy coming from a fellow podcaster, but I feel like Micah Parsons need to focus on the field for a little bit. He said, come on, man, I think just traded playbooks. No, we didn't. We did not trade playbooks. I really like y'all talent though. I like what the Giants have put out there. The way y'all went into the draft and just said trenches. I like it. So we do NFC North tomorrow, and then we go to AFC West, and then we go to NFC West Super Bowl champion, defending champion Seahawks. We'll do that last. Y'all see how I did that? I went from the division to division. If y'all missed any of the divisions, go to my YouTube. Every division goes up. It's got its own pod. And then when we get done, we'll go back and make like predictions, like who we think going to be the worst team in the league, who we think going to be the MVP, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, all rookie team, all NFL, and who we think going to make the playoffs next year in the way too early predictions. But this has been fun. Like, I didn't want to do regurgitated Tennessee type this week on draft minicamp special team. Like, bro, no, we're not doing that. We're not arguing about construction at the Titans. Beat writers and reporters can't video the practice. That stuff I don't care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less about Carnell Tate's jersey number or anything like that. This is time to go check out some other teams in the NFL and see who is having great off seasons. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm only here because y'all here. God first in the chat, and we out. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share. Tap into the daily uploads at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time if you missed the live streams. We got picture-in-picture, and if I don't get to any questions during the live streams or the pods, drop them in the comments. I'll make it part of the weekly mailbag. If you're following on the blue, smash those reactions. I know you're OG. Hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content that is the shop. If you're new to the shop, you definitely should be tapped in on the green. No ads, up to 50 emotes free for just being a follower. You do not have to be a supporter to unlock picture-in-picture, late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free $99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. If you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and cash apps, is also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, the classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official merch store on Tactic, formerly known as Geeks Unleashed. Code Buddha at checkout